I'm Mace Bauer, UF IFAS, Columbia County Agriculture Agent, University of Florida. I'm here on one of our Columbia County area farms where we're working with the farmer trying to get some down corn harvested. I wanted to share some images and video with you today. Maybe we can look at the corn crop and talk about some of the reasons that this corn's blown down and what kind of risks we have moving ahead with this corn crop. I was originally worried about this field of corn a couple weeks ago. If you see why, when I push on these stalks, it doesn't take much, and they just give. They just give down there at the bottom node. That one's at the second node. And when you get a wind through here, all of it starts weighing on each other, and the whole field blows down. So in this corn, we're really just a matter of time, one event, and I don't think that event has to be a very strong wind, and the mass of all this corn together brings it down. You can see there's good corn here. We estimate this to be over 200 bushels to the acre. Very good yield, and it's just a matter of time before the wind comes through and lays the rest of it down. This is a very popular hybrid in the southeast. One of the things that you can tell right away is that this ear is about 5 feet off the ground. See more ears right behind me, and over here some are probably over my head. So you got that big heavy part of the plant, a high center of gravity. In this field we have a small patch of corn that's still standing, maybe 10%, maybe 20%. What I want to show here, not so much the wind that blew this corn down, but the condition of this corn. As I push on this corn stalk, you can see that we've got a weak spot. Corn typically will go over and pull the root system out of the ground. But when we've got a weak stalk, it's going to blow over at some point on the stalk. You can see that I'm just putting very little pressure on this corn to knock it over. If I take a pocket knife and cut this stalk open, when we look at this stalk of corn, we can see that it's virtually hollow inside. This was the first corn that I was aware of in our area that was blown down. This corn's actually been down for 3 weeks. That was actually blown down prior to physiological maturity or black corn. We saw this several weeks ago. We came in and made some yield estimates on this farm. And right away, back to our east, you see a pretty healthy storm rolling right here. The wind's picked up. A lot of this corn is at very high risk to blow over. Another farm, similar soil types. We're looking at a different corn hybrid, different location, different management system. But what I see here, when I look at some of this corn, this stuff, this takes all my weight, and as you see it, it's pulling the roots out of the ground. Some of these may break, but this corn is tolerating. There's one that's a little weak. There's one that's going to take the roots out of the ground with it. That's what we're supposed to see from a corn hybrid with some standability at the end of the season. These are good girthy ears. This corn's been mature for, I would say 10 days. This corn's probably at 25% moisture. But you can see the stalks are in much better condition. If I cut one of these open, see, it hasn't cannibalized the interior of the stalk to produce this ear. Much of our corn, we had an indication even 3 weeks ago that it had weak stalks and that we were going to have some problems with it. Our typical weather patterns are these thunderstorms in the evening usually. Some of our hybrids are holding up very well, and we can come out to our fields, take a look, see if we have the strength to leave these to dry down a little bit in the field, or if we need to be in a hurry to get that corn harvested.